Hey, boys and girls. I just wanted to say hi and help you with reviewing for your math lessons. So today is our review for day 6, which is how to use equal groups to multiply, as well as how to use number lines to multiply. But before we get started, what we're going to do is go ahead and take a look at our problem of the day. All right, so as you can see right here, our problem of the day shows models of two fractions are shown below. Select all the true statements. So when I see in a question that says select all the true statements, what does that mean? That's right. When we select all the true statements, that means there's more than one answer. So let's go ahead and take a look at our answer choices. So A, the fractions cannot be compared. But when I take a look at these fractions, they look like they take up the same amount of space. Wouldn't you agree? Exactly. So can that be choice A? No, we're going to go ahead and cross that out. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at B. The fractions are equivalent. Now, we just said that they take up a same amount of space, and if I take a very close look, they look like they're about the same size as well. These top fractions up here and the bottom ones right here. So we're going to go ahead and say maybe for B. And when we say maybe, what do? We put a question mark. That's right. So now let's take a look at C. It says 6/8 is greater than 3/4. If I take a look up here, this box I'm guessing represents 6/8. And it looks like it's the same amount of space as down here, and that's supposed to be 3/4. So guess what? Can the choice be C? Cross it out. Now let's take a look at D. 6/8. So if I count, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of how many? 8. 6/8 is equal to 3/4. And I see 1, 2, 3 parts shaded out of 4. So guess what? My other choice is D. So what are our answer choices for our problem of the day today? B and D. Very good. Let's go ahead and get into our lesson. So our first lesson is using equal groups to multiply. So it's asking us to put 24 counters into equal groups and draw to show your groups. So, I wonder how I can do that. Let's make it easy on ourselves. And what we're going to do is we are going to just circle 4 at a time. See Miss Green concentrating. Oopsies. Move that out the way. We'll circle our last group here. All right, so how many equal groups do you see? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 equal groups. So there are 6 equal groups of 4. Very good. So put 24 counters into a different number of equal groups. Why not? I'm going to do 8 at a time. So let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can I do 8 at a time? No, it wouldn't be equal groups, would it? Okay. Oh, look what I did wrong. I started counting at the top. And I can't count this way for my 8 at a time. So let's try this. It would look good if we did our 8 at a time like this, didn't we? So how many groups do I have now? I've got 1, 2, 3 groups of how many? 3 groups of 8. Very good. So the question it's asking us at the bottom of this page for day 6 is, compare your models. How are the models the same and how are they different? So if I take a look, the models are the same because they're equal groups. But how are the models different? Well, I'm showing 6 groups of 4 at the top, and how many groups at the bottom? Groups of what? 8. Very good. 3 groups of 8. So that's how they can be different. All right, let's go to our Think and Grow. So we're going to be using equal groups to multiply. So just as a reminder, multiplication is an operation that gives the total number of objects when you combine equal groups. So let's take a look at the example. How many counters are there in all? Let's take a look. I see 1, 2, 3 groups. 3 groups of what? So I'm looking at this tape diagram down here and it's breaking it up for me. And it's showing me that there are 3 groups of 8. Okay, and you see it right here. 1, 2, 3 groups. And in each group, you'll see 8. So it's showing us the repeated addition equation. And what is that asking for? It's showing us 8 plus 8 plus 8 equals what? So we're trying to figure out the number of counters. So I've seen some friends, when they like to do this, they like to increase by 8. So I know that this is going to be 8. So I'll put 8 right here. So what could this be? 8 plus 8. That's right, 16. All right, so I have 8 plus 8. Now I'm at 16. So what would 16 plus 8 be? That's right, 24. All right, and if we take a look, it even tells us in a little side note, each group has the same number of counters, so that's what makes them equal. All right, so our repeated addition equation, what is our answer going to be? 24. 8 plus 8 plus 8. Very good. Now, our multiplication equation is showing 3, which represents the number of equal groups, 8, which is the size that is inside of each group, so the size or the number that's in each group, and then our answer. So when I do a multiplication problem, what is that called? When I do a multiplication problem, when I'm looking for the answer of the multiplication problem, it's not called answer, we call it this. That's right, product. So if my sum for my addition equation was 24 and that was 8 plus 8 plus 8, then what do you think 3 times 8 is? It's 24. Very good. So what's our product? 24. And look at this little side note over here. I'm always asking you guys the difference between an equation and an expression because you will always see these words on a test. So it says right here, an equation is a mathematical sentence that uses an equal sign to show that 2 expressions are equal. Whoop, look at that. Our word expressions. So can anybody tell me what's an expression? If we know that an equation has equal signs, then what does an expression have? That's right, no equal signs. And it just shows like 2 times 4 or 4 plus 4, okay? Very good. So now we're gonna go to our show and grow to see what you can do. And I know you guys can do this. So use the model to complete the statements. Let's take a look at question number 1. I see how many blank groups of blank. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4 groups. So I'm going to write 4 right here, 4 groups. Now let's see how many are in each group. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to put 4 groups of 5. Now it's asking for a repeated addition. So let's see. how should I write this? Should I write 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4? That doesn't sound right because I would need to have 5 of those, right? So let's try it this way. Let's try 5. Sorry, pen's getting a little messed up here. So try with my finger. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. 5, 10, 15. That's right, 20. So we're going to write 20 right here. So 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals what? 20. So what should our equation look like? Our multiplication equation, what should that look like? 4 times 5 equals 20. Why is that? Because we have 4 groups of 5, and we know that they're going to equal a product of 20. Very good. Now let's go down to question number 2. I'm seeing this tape right here. That's the tape diagram. How many groups of 6 do we see? 2. 2 groups of 6. Very good. So what should that addition equation look like? Well, we see it right there. It should be what? 6 plus 6. Why is it not 2 plus 2? That's right, because we're not saying 2 groups of 2, we're saying 2 groups of 6. So it should be 6 plus 6. 6 plus 6. Does that equal? You got it. Equals 12. Oops. Equals 12. And so what should our multiplication equation look like? 2 times 6 equals 12. Very good. Now we're going to draw equal groups and then complete the equations. Now I'm not going to do all of this with you because some of this is you trying to show me what you know. So what we're going to do is questions number 4 and 6 together. So if we take a look at question 4, it says 4 groups of 2. So that means I need to draw 1, 2, 3, 4 groups. And I'll change the color for the inside. So I got 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So why did I only put 2 inside of each of those groups right there? That's correct, because I wanted to have 4 groups of 2. So with that being said, what should this equation look like? Should I be putting 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4? No, I need to put 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. So pretty much what we're doing is we're taking that number at the back, okay, that number at the end, and we're repeating it for our repeated addition to show those 4 groups. So 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 8. Very good. And so what should my multiplication equation look like? 4 times 2 equals 8. Very good. Now let's go ahead and take a look at question number 6. The directions say, write the addition equation as a multiplication equation. So I see 8 plus 8 plus 8 equals 24. How many times do I see the number 8? That's correct. I see it 3 times. So we're going to write 3 times 8 equals 24. So literally what we just did, because it's 3 groups of 8, 3 groups of 8. So this 3 represents our 3 groups. And then our 8 represents how many are in each group. And then of course we have the answer or our product, very good, to show what we know. All right, boys and girls. Now it's your turn to practice. So go ahead and pause this video and keep practicing on your own to finish these problems. All right, welcome back. Now we're going to do our next lesson, which is to use number lines to multiply. So let's take a look. So our question is asking, find the sums. Use each sum as the missing add-in in the next equation. Model the problems on the number line. So let's go ahead and solve this first. So I see 0 plus 3 equals blank. 0 plus 3. I know 0 plus 3 is 3. Okay, so I'm going to put 3 right here now because I found the answer right here, and I'm going to put my sum or my answer right here and add 3 more to it. So what is 3 plus 3? That's correct, 6. So now I'm going to put the 6 right here. So what is 6 plus 3? That's right, 9. And then I'll take my 9 and put it right there. So what's 9 plus 3? Man, you guys are really good at this. 9 plus 3 equals 12. Awesome. So now what we're going to do is we're going to model the problem on the number line like it asked me to do earlier. So where should I start on this number line? If I'm going to show how to, so that's right, I need to start at the 0. It shows it right there. It's telling me 0 right here, so I need to start at the 0 right here. So we'll go ahead and put a dot right there for 0. Now, how many numbers should I jump at a time? 3? I think that's a great idea. I mean, that's kind of what it's showing right here in the middle, right? Showing us 3. So let's jump over 3 at a time. So let's see, I've got a 1, 2, 3. It goes all the way up to 20. And I start at the 0. Now, when I start counting with multiplication, do I count at that line that I just put my dot at? No, we start at the next line. We don't start counting at the 0. We start counting at the number behind it. So we need to do 3 jumps from there. So we're going to start counting at the 1. 1, 2, 3. And that's where I'm landing, at the 3. So do we start counting at the 3? Nope. We start counting at the 4. 1, 2, 3. And I'm landing on the 6. And then I put my nice dot right there. I start counting at the 7. You're right. I start counting at the 7. Okay. 1, 2, 3. All right. Now, where is it telling me to go to again? The final answer we see right here is 12. So that means I need to end where? At 12. So remember, we have to count by 3s though. So where do I start count? I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. I know I'm moving too slow. So we go 1, 2, 3 right here at the 12. All right. So let's see how many jumps we made. So remember, we have to connect the dots. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many jumps did I just make? I made 4 jumps. And how many jumps, how many spaces did I skip over at a time? 3. So 3, 3, 3, and 3. Sorry, my 3s don't look so good, guys. Kind of hard to write with a mouse. All right, so the reasoning question we have is, how can you use a number line to help you find 4 times 3? I want you to take a moment and think about that. How can we use a number line? So what are you thinking? Yeah. I like your thinking. Let's see if it works, okay? Let's move on to our thinking grow. So multiplication and number lines. So let's take a look at our example. These numbers look kind of familiar. We just did 4 times 3, but now we're looking at 3 times 4. So we need to find 3 times 4. So it shows us right here that 3 times 4 means 3 groups of 4. Wait a minute, we just did that, didn't we? 3 groups of 4, that's right. So the number of jumps and the size of each jump. So we're going to start at 0 and skip count by 4s 3 times. So if I take a look right here, we skip counted or jumped over 4 numbers at a time. So they started at the 0 like we were talking about, and then they started counting at the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. They landed right here on the 4. So with that being said, what are the number of jumps that we're going to take? So I see 1, 2, 3 jumps. You see that too? Okay, so we need to put right here 3. And what are the size of our jumps? Meaning how many numbers did we skip over at a time? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So very good. So that's how we have our 3 times 4. So what does 3 times 4 equal? Where did it end? Ended right here at the 12. That's correct. All right. So now we're going to show and grow. Let's see what you can do. So find 2 times 4. So remember, we were just over here and we learned that 3 times 4 means the number of jumps, 3, and the size of each jump is 4. So if we come over here, find 2 times 4. So what are the number of jumps that we need to take? You want to go back one more time and take a look? Okay, I understand. Sometimes it's hard to remember. Okay. So now that we got that out the way, what are the number of jumps we're going to take? 2. That's right. Okay. So how many numbers are we going to jump over at a time? 4. So all we did was just take that equation, 2 times 4, number of jumps is 2, size of each jump is 4. So where should I start on this number line to solve this? Good thinking right there. Let's start at the 0. Okay, so remember, how many jumps are we taking total? 2 jumps. So I need to jump over how many numbers at a time? 4. So where should I start counting? At the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. I land right here on the 4. Okay. And so let's count that jump. That's 1 jump. And remember, I have to have a total of how many? 2. So we need 1 more jump. We'll start counting where? At the 5. That's right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So where did I just land? That's exactly right. I land at the 8. So that means 2 times 4 equals 8. Very good. So our number of jumps were 2 and the size of each jump was 4. So let's go ahead and take a look at question number 2 now. Find 6 times 3. So what are the number of jumps? And you guys are getting good at this. That's right, 6. So what are the size of each jump? So we've got 6 times 3. So that means the size of each jump should be what? 3. Very good. All right, so you tell me, where do I start? Do I start at the 0, the 1, 2, 3, 1? You're right, I start at the 0. So if I have to take 6 jumps, man, we're gonna have to really stay focused on this one. So if we're counting how many at a time? 3. So let's go ahead and count. 1, 2, 3. So I land on the 3. Start counting where? At the 4. 1, 2, 3. Remember, we're just doing 3 jumps at a time. So now I've landed on the 6. Yes, go to the 7. 1, 2, 3. All right. Go to the 10. 1, 2, 3. All right, so let's see, how many jumps have we taken so far? Remember, we start at the 0 and we jump to the big dots that we've created. 2, 3, 4. How many more do I need? I need 2 more. So let's go ahead and start counting back down here. So Start at the 13. 1, 2, 3. Land. Okay, and one more. 1, 2, 3, and land. Where did we just finish? Where did we land, boys and girls? We landed at the 18. So what does 6 times 3 equal? 18. Very good. All right. So now what you are going to do is, this is where you are trying to do your independent practice, but I figured why not help you with just one more? So we're going to try just one more. So find 3 times 5. So what are the number of jumps I need to take for 3 times 5? That's right. I'm going to take 3. And so how many am I jumping over at a time? How many numbers? That's right, 5. So 3 times 5, I start where? I'm sorry, okay, I'm moving too slow for you. I know, you guys get really excited sometimes. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna start at the 0, and we're going to do how many jumps again? 3 jumps. So how many am I jumping over at a time? 5 jumps. So let's start. 1, 2, 3, oops, 4, 5. So I need to land right here. I have to start using my finger again. This pen's getting a little happy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's right, land right here at the 10. And where do I go again? Start at the 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Let's see how many jumps that was so far. So we're going to do 1, 2, and 3. So how many jumps did I just take? 3 jumps of. All right, so what is 3 times 5? 15. All right, at this time, what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead, keep going, practice some more, and see what you get. So go ahead and pause this video at this time. All right, welcome back. How did you do? Awesome. So we're gonna move on to Dreambox. And guess what? In Dreambox, you're gonna find the lessons that you need to work on. If you have your laptop or any device at home that allows you to get on Dreambox, I want you to go ahead at this time and make sure that you are going into the lesson that I assigned you, okay? So, good job today, guys. It was great seeing you. And remember, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact your teacher. Bye.